Welcome! So today we're going to tackle a massive question for anyone job hunting in the Gulf. How in the world do you get your CV to actually stand out? Seriously, with a flood of applications and AI getting smarter every day, just getting shortlisted feels tougher than ever. Let's fix that. Does this sound familiar? You spend hours polishing your CV. You send out application after application, and then nothing. Just silence. It really can feel like all your hard work is just vanishing into a black hole. Well, what if I told you the problem isn't your experience, but who, or more accurately, what, is reading your CV first? You see, the reality is there's a digital gatekeeper, and it's the one making the first cut. And that gatekeeper is called an Applicant Tracking System, or ATS for short. It's the software that pretty much all the big companies in the GCC, and honestly, around the world, use to handle the crazy number of applications they get. And this, right here, is why this whole thing matters so much. A staggering 80% of CVs get filtered by this software first. So here's the key takeaway. Your CV has to be written for a machine first and a human second, not the other way around. Think of it this way. The ATS is like a digital bouncer at a club. Only the CVs that get past this scan ever make it to a real recruiter's screen. So the big question is your CV on the list?
Okay, let's get practical. Why do so many perfectly qualified candidates get filtered out? Well, it usually comes down to some really simple, totally avoidable mistakes in formatting and content that just make a CV unreadable to the software.
You have to remember, an ATS reads a document from top to bottom, left to right. Super simple. Anything that messes with that flow, like tables, columns, or fancy graphics, can totally confuse it and cause an error. And a huge one, if you save your CV as an image-based PDF, the software can't read any of the text at all. Simplicity and clarity are your best friends here. A clean, simple .docx file is almost always your safest bet. So, just to recap the biggest traps: bad file formats, complicated designs, and not having the specific keywords the system is literally programmed to look for. And yeah, even using a creative job title like growth hacker instead of marketing manager can get you rejected because the machine is just looking for standard, predictable terms. So how do we fix this? It's time to build a strategy. Let's dive into how you can optimize your CV to not just pass the ATS, but to actually get a high score. Keywords are absolutely everything. The ATS is basically a matching engine. It's looking for specific terms from the job description to see if they're in your CV. And in the Gulf, this is so critical. Mentioning relevant certifications like PMP or NABOSH, skills like VAT knowledge, or even local experience like familiar with Dubai municipality standards can make all the difference. Here's a simple process. First, literally dissect the job description. Pull out 10 to 15 of the most important skills and responsibilities you see. Then, you're going to sprinkle these exact terms naturally throughout your CV. Don't just stuff them in a list. Use them in sentences that describe what you've achieved. And you know what? AI can be a massive help here. And this is just a brilliant example of how to use AI. This is a real, usable prompt you can copy and paste into a tool like ChatGPT. By being this specific, you're telling the AI exactly what you need, a summary that's both professional and packed with the keywords an ATS is scanning for. But, and this is a really crucial piece of advice, AI is your co-pilot, not the pilot. Use it to generate a strong first draft, but always go back and edit it yourself. Add your own voice, double-check that everything's accurate, and make sure it actually sounds like you. A recruiter can almost always spot a purely AI-generated text. Okay, congratulations. Your CV made it past the bot. Awesome. But now you're facing the next challenge, a real human recruiter who has very little time. Let's look at what they want to see. You have about 10 to 15 seconds to make an impression. That's it. No pressure, right? Your CV needs to be incredibly clear, easy to scan, and immediately show why you're a great fit. So what are they looking for in that super fast scan? Clear bullet points, not long paragraphs. Local context is huge. Mentioning your visa status can immediately answer one of their biggest questions. And because the GCC is so diverse, highlighting your experience working in multicultural teams is a really big plus. Now, this is a fantastic technique. Right under your name and contact info, add a one-line snapshot like this. It gives the recruiter everything they need to know in a single glance. Your role, your total and local experience, key credentials, and your availability. It saves them time and immediately flags you as a serious, relevant candidate. Look, knowledge is pretty useless without action. So let's break all of this down into a simple plan you can start today, and it's inspired by a real success story. Take the case of Imran, an HVAC technician from Kochi. He was really struggling to get noticed. So he updated his CV and he added specific keywords like familiar with Dubai municipality standards. The result? It was incredible. Within just 12 days of uploading his new optimized CV, he got 2 interview calls and landed a great job. This just proves that making these small, targeted changes really, really works. So here is your plan. Number 1, identify what needs the most work. 2, learn how to fix it. 3, schedule a dedicated hour each week. Consistency is everything. 4, act on what you've learned. And finally, number 5, review your results. Job hunting is just a cycle of learning and improving. All right, to wrap things up, let's lock in the main points. Always, always think machine first. Make keywords your obsession for every single application. Keep your designs simple and clean. Use AI as your smart assistant. And just remember that this whole thing is a process of constant improvement. I'll leave you with this final thought. In today's digital world, your CV has to be bilingual. It has to speak the language of algorithms, and it has to speak the language of people. Think about how you can best tell your professional story to both, because when you get that right, you open up a world of opportunity.